Okay, what's going on, dudes? It's Trevor back again here to bring in a video. This one will be my last video about the Walking Dead TV series 1 figures. I recently did a review of Daryl Dixon and Rick, TV series Rick, as you can see in the background there, and as well as a couple of the others from the comic book series who are also in there. So now we'll do a joint review. I'll just do two of these figures at once because I figure, well, there's no reason to really separate them up. I mean, they're just zombies, right? So we've got the zombie walker and the zombie biter. The zombie walker on your left and the biter on your right. So these figures are very nice looking. I think that they're better looking than the comic book series figures. You know, their style obviously is different because they were real people dressed as zombies. But they look like I can actually tell which zombies these were from the show, which is very cool. I actually, as soon as I saw them, I knew right away because I'm a big Walking Dead fanatic. You guys know that I have like a channel dedicated. I review all the episodes of the show and all that stuff, and read the comic book every time it comes out, pretty much the day or the day after. I just love the series. The zombie to your left, the Walker zombie, is the artist for the comic book, Charlie Adlard. I always say his name wrong. I think that's it, pretty much. On your right, you have Greg Nicotero. He was the biter zombie, and that is actually the zombie that bit Amy, which is Andrea's younger sister in the first season. He was the one when she goes up to go to the washroom, right outside of the camper. He's the one who bites her. I know this scene by scene because it happens in both the comic book and the TV show. So I think that's kind of cool. These are probably the two most famous zombies in the show, being that they're, you know, sort of like cameos. Greg Nicotero is the basically the mastermind behind designing the zombies. So he is the one who does all the makeup. He's the one, he's the leader, basically the guy, the go-to guy when it comes to, you want to have zombies in your movie and you want to make them look realistic, or your TV show, go talk to Greg Nicotero. That's the guy you want to talk to because this guy has done, you know, probably the best makeup for zombies ever. And then, of course, Charlie, being the Walking Dead artist since like issue 7 or 6, whatever it was, you know, he's fantastic too. I mean, he's done a lot of cool stuff. So to see them as zombies is very cool. So these guys don't come with a whole lot. The biter zombie comes with this. It's just like a piece of, I guess, a piece of bloody flesh, I guess you call it. You can kind of have him, you could kind of hold it a little bit and have him kind of munching on it if you really wanted to, um, which is kind of nasty. As you can see, for Greg Nicotero, the biter, he is covered in blood mostly, mostly probably Amy's blood. Yeah. And he has a function where you can press a button on his back and he will sort of bite. I guess it works. What do you guys think? I don't know. It's kind of weak biting. I think Amy would be all right if this was about as fierce as he could bite. That bite that he hits her with on the show is pretty brutal too. I've talked about that too in my review of the first season when he bites her and it just starts squirting everywhere, man. That was a pretty bad one. Really good detailing on him though. You know, like I can tell it's obviously him, and he walks just like that in the show. Like, just, that's a cool pose right there to have him in. You can't really, you know, change his pose up too much because he'll just fall over all the time. But he looks really cool, and the blood everywhere is really nice, really gruesome and grotesque. There's that button on the back for him. He can kind of move his arms up and stuff like that, but he looks kind of silly, like, you know, like I would never pose him like that. He just looks ridiculous, and he doesn't have hardly any articulation all the way through here. You can move legs, but then he'll fall over. So, you know, the head, you know, because of the gimmick, there's no articulation on him. So he's pretty much just a, you know, pretty standard type of figure. You're just gonna have him, you know, kind of standing there, almost like a statue sort of, but he does have the action and the arm articulation. So he is a figure. He's the type of figure that you're just going to have standing. You're not going to be able to do a lot with him. Now we'll move on to Charlie's. So he was shown in sort of a shot when Rick was coming out of, when he was around the tank, either in the first or the second episode, I forget where it showed him. I think it showed him a bunch of times. He had a cool cameo where kind of walked down and he does this like jaw thing where he kind of like, you know, it kind of looks like, you know, it was one of the freakier ones. He has this this twist on the back, this twist thing that you can use for him that's supposed to make him walk, but it doesn't really work. It just kind of like He kind of walks, but he kind of doesn't. Here, let me try that again. You see what I mean? He just kind of, he doesn't really move anywhere. He just kind of moves around and makes his legs look like they're walking. Now, when he comes out of packaging, he has these plastic parts on the bottom, and they stick out. 3 of them. One sticks out there, 2 on the inside, 2 on the inside, and 1 on the outside. I just ripped them off with my bare hands right away because I was like, okay, that looks totally ridiculous. Just to have him on his feet like that. They might be clear plastic, but to me, clear plastic is supposed to be transparent. It never really works. You can always see it there. You know it's there. You know what I mean? It just looks stupid to me. It's not truly invisible. You know, you can obviously tell it's there, and it just looks awful. I don't know why they put that on him. I think maybe they felt like he couldn't stand well enough, or every time you move the knob, you just fall right over. Maybe that's what was going on, but it's not like he really walks anyway. So I don't know. He looks good, though. That's the most important thing. He looks the part. His suit looks great. The blood everywhere, his jaw, his hair. Like I said, I can tell who it is. I can tell which zombie from the show it is. So that's something to be said right there. But the walking function absolutely sucks. The other thing is the dial on the back, and oh yeah, and the plastic things on his feet look ridiculous too. They look so stupid. This thing on his back, that's not easy to hide that. You know what I mean? In the other series, the comic book series, they used, as you can see in the background here, they used a knife, and you could use that to pull that down for his head exploding. That's cool because that disguises it. You know what I mean? You don't really see it the same way. All they would have had to do with this is the same thing. Paint it black and just put the rest metal. That's fine. It looked like a knife. So they could have gone that extra mile and done that with this one like they did for the other one, but they didn't. Oh, well, what are you going to do? I think pretty much you're going to get this guy. You're going to get him because you want to army build zombies. Same with the Greg Nicotero zombie. I think this was a good choice, though, for them to pick 2 zombies out of the show. It's pretty much the 2 most famous ones that we've had so far. So very cool. As in terms of a score out of 10, I mean, I'm going to give them a 7 out of 10 each. Greg Nicotero's zombie the biter doesn't really have any articulation in the head, doesn't have hardly any articulation in the body or the feet. He just looks weird if you pose him any different way. So he can't really move much either. And the Walker zombie, he doesn't have like pretty much any articulation. You can move his arms up, but again, he looks really dumb. Like, whoa. It just looks really stupid. Same with him. So, maybe some zombie loving. Okay, that's it for this one, guys. I'll see you for the next one. Later.